recording. So this is Carrie, and I'm coming to you today from the traditional territory of the Champlain and Ajax First Nations in the community of Haines Junction. And my guest today is Joella. And Joella, where are you from?
Well, I'm from Mayo, born and raised in Whitehorse, but I've been living in Mayo since 2003, and today I'm calling in from Porter Creek.
Nice. Okay, and so you've got a Yukon-based business. Can you tell us a little bit about it? What's your business model?
Yeah, so I am the Yukon Soaps Company. So I create handcrafted natural soaps that honor Indigenous knowledge, use plants from the boreal forest, and support community. So not just Mayo, but also broader Yukon community. I mostly sell to shops throughout the Yukon, and so lots of downtown, Main Street shops, but also cultural centers and seasonal gift shops throughout the Yukon. Sell via my website too, quite a bit through my website, and more kind of across Canada and around the world, really. Yeah.
And what have you learned about your business model over the last couple of weeks?
Well, that's been hard. I guess I don't really feel the panic yet, because a lot of the shops are tourist based. So generally this time of year, I'm just busy crafting, creating, and getting ready for the tourist season so that I can supply all of those shops. And so I actually had done a lot of that in January and February before all of this happened anyway. So normally I would just be waiting for those orders and, getting ready to fill them. So that's not happening, of course, right? And so just kind of hanging out, waiting to see kind of the bigger impacts and how all of my friends that have those businesses, how they kind of pivot their businesses, and there's a way to support them. And then I'm really just trying to get soap to the people, because if all of those shops are closed where people generally get their product, they're looking to find out how they can get soap from me. So I am definitely busy around Whitehorse and, doing lots of home deliveries, which is great, and trying to supply the stores that are still open here. Still getting lots of orders across Canada, which is so great. And last week had a little surge of orders from the US, which was interesting. Unfortunately, what is a lot harder now is that because we have been told not to travel to the communities if it's unless it's really essential. And I have had quite a few orders from Dawson. So that means people are having to pay for shipping. And that's hard because it's hard to find rides to get things up there. So, trying to find kind of community-based solutions for that to make sure people still get soap. It's interesting in this time, having a product that helps with the current health need. Right. And so it's not like I'm trying to sell, jewelry, which we all love and is absolutely essential. But in the time of a pandemic, it's not people's top shopping purchase. Whereas, people really need soap and they're trying to find the best ways to get it. And so I have it and trying to get it out there. To people. So it's great. Lots of people are reaching out and doing lots of deliveries that way.
And you've got like a new t-shirt initiative as well that you started. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, well, I was just trying to think of, what can I do? I donated a lot of soap in my community of Mayo. I've got soap at the store, and I was doing local deliveries, and I was doing stuff here, but it wasn't quite, I didn't really feel like it was enough. And so I just started to think about what the needs are. And I know people love the t-shirts that I do. And so I don't know, the other day I just had the idea to do a t-shirt that said clean hands, dirty mind. I mean, that's, we all are that. And there's so many campaigns out there about washing your hands. And so I thought, playing on the dirty bit and and Yukoners certainly love those kinds of catchy phrases. But at the end of the day, it's also just promoting the message of keep washing your hands and help to do your part. But I also didn't want to just sell a t-shirt, that I wanted to use it as a way to give back. And so in partnership actually with Green Screen Printing downtown, able to combine efforts. And so with every shirt sold, I'll be giving soaps to 3 places in Dawson City, because I know there's a lot of support going to Whitehorse, and I've supported Mayo with soap, and I know there's lots of efforts going into Old Crow, and I have family connections and strong connections to Dawson too. So anyway, soap going to the women's shelter, the men's shelter, and the food bank, which is run through one of the churches there. So in the next few weeks, we'll be getting soap up to them to hopefully just distribute to people that they think is needed. And people love it. I mean, the shirts just like are selling so fast, which is great, of course, right? That people, whether they like the shirt because the shirt, or whether it's part of the bigger good, or they just want to be part of the cool club and wearing one of my shirts, whatever it is, it's great to be able to make that purchase and support it.
Yeah, I think I bought the shirt for all of those reasons. Yeah, it was to be part of something, and like, finding these ways of connecting and being together, even though we are so distant. What have you learned about your customer over the last little bit?
Well, definitely people are cautious and scared, right? Like yesterday, I advertised like contactless delivery, which is really hard for me because normally I like to chat and visit with the people that I'm selling it to. That's especially a fun part of it, especially when I mostly sell wholesale in Whitehorse, so to be able to be here and connect with people. But anyway, so running around and just dropping on people's porches and their mailboxes. Yesterday seeing so many homes that have hearts and windows, that have lovely little signs. There was one in Takini that said, thank you so much for coming to our house and delivering. Please set your parcel there. And it was like, we love you and thank you. And like, it was just super sweet. And their window was all decorated, everybody is just really coming together during this time. And people are really trying to support local. Like, I know that there are people that definitely normally buy my stuff, but maybe not as much. And I know because people are amazing on social media these days, people are giving shout outs and really amplifying the Yukon businesses that they're supporting. Yesterday, my friend Elena, who also has a business, but she posted that she got my soap and Summit Kombucha together. What a great day, right? And so that's one business amplifying 2 more businesses. And I think we're seeing this kind of ripple effect happen throughout Yukon of small business supporting business. And that's really great. Yukoners are incredible and really, really generous. And so, just seeing how customers are finding a way to continue to support and keep their families healthy.
Yeah, and buying the things that you need, and Yukoners are making it. I found myself doing that in my journal, my like daily planner. I actually like put a little space in there to like, what have I bought local today? So just like a little thing, even if maybe today I can't afford a huge amount, but what can I afford and how can I spend that money sort of supporting a Yukon business, just as a reminder that because living, especially in a rural community, we live in when you're staying in your house all the time, you really feel like you're in a bit of a bubble.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great to hear that other Yukoners are supporting so much. What has been, as business owners, we have a lot of routine, or we, think about both ourselves and our businesses. So what have been some of your sort of wellness practices that have been an anchor for you in this time?
Well, it was interesting, kind of the first week that I was here in Whitehorse. And so when I'm back in Mayo, I have a really good routine of running my business, doing my other work that people don't know is I do a lot of contract consulting work related to connecting people to the land and community development and community wellness. And that work, thankfully, has been stable and hasn't slowed down at all. So when I'm in Mayo, I have a really good routine. But when I come to Whitehorse, I always find like my schedule is off because it's meetings here and meetings there, and I stay at my parents in Porter Creek, and so not my own home. So a few weeks ago when it really hit, it was like, okay, what am I going to do here to take care of myself, get my work done, be balanced, support my family, be everything.
Mhm.
And I think I started off the first few days, doing online yoga and webinars on how to support your business, all of these things, and doing this. And it didn't take very long where that kind of just fell apart. And I really was getting um, overwhelmed, I guess, with all of the different webinars and massive emails from people wanting to support. When I say people, I mean like different organizations, because I'm connected to Indigenous organizations across Canada and all the chambers of commerce and all of these things, and everybody's trying to give you information to survive. And I kind of had to shut it all out for my mental health, right? That I was like, okay, this is too much. I need to focus on trying to support my family, my parents who are aging and have some health issues. I need to be able to do my work so that I have revenue coming in, and I need to get soap to people. So trying to find that balance. Totally admit there have been some days where I haven't gotten outside, where I haven't eaten the best, but got through some major milestones and trying to keep back on track. But and back on social media and seeing all these posts about daily self-care. What do you do to get through, and really to not beat yourself up for getting everything done. The one thing that said, if you don't, I can't remember who it was that said it, if you don't come out of this pandemic having written a book or learned a new language, it's like, really? I don't know. That's certainly not going to happen for anybody I know, right?
Mhm.
Because yeah,
Yeah.
it's a new normal, and trying to carve that out. But I will say that, like, for me, I worked from home anyway, and so in terms of like daily routine, it hasn't changed that much for me.
Okay.
So it's more just, I started also getting up every morning and listening to the Prime Minister's thing, and I never thought I would be the kind of person that it was so important that I listened to the Prime Minister, right? But I was like, those are the two things that I want to hear. I want to hear the Prime Minister, and I want to hear Chief Brennan Hanley. Those are my two sources of information right now.
Mhm.
But it's easy to get flooded with everything else also.
Yeah, like that. So like kind of that idea of letting go a lot of like those old expectations for how we sort of managed our life and managed our day, and kind of embracing that let go, which is weird because
Yeah.
like you were saying, there's sort of this, well, if do all these things and create this sort of discipline, but I don't know. It's been I really resonate with what you're saying. I found a lot of that for myself too. Like to not beat myself up over what I'm doing and not doing, and just be as present as I can for the people who I
Yep.
love and the things that I love to do,
Yep.
and to just sort of let go and embrace this sort of feeling of uncertainty that is here and present, but in embracing it, I find some strength.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. So speaking of uncertainty, sort of what are you thinking about your business model and in this age of uncertainty as we sort of navigate whatever is coming our way? How are you thinking differently?
Hmm. Well, I guess I was about to launch a few new products, and
Mm.
those are on hold because I'll just need to think about the next few weeks whether this is the right time or not to be launching those. So we'll see. Other than that, I am just going to keep um, keep up with local sales and online sales across Canada. Sorry. And really, there have been, I mean, yesterday I announced that I'm a part of a campaign with 5 other Indigenous women from across Canada. And so there's a contest going there about supporting all of these women, and they're all incredible. I've bought all of their stuff before. They were all familiar to me. So to be aligned with them is super awesome. And there's also a few Yukon initiatives coming out too. So I think that will be kind of my focus, is people building and supporting each other, that I can't necessarily do it on my own in during this time, but building on the support of other initiatives and businesses as we all try to figure it out. Teamwork, Yukoners, amazing.
In Yukon, right? I think
Yeah.
yeah, that was some of the first advice that we got in this series from Joanne Thomas was like, collaborate, get your,
Mm-hmm.
look at your
Mm-hmm.
relationships, collaborate, look at your business in a different way, and find your strength in those collaborations.
Yeah, and it was interesting because yesterday I was on a call, excuse me, with all of the chambers of commerce and, MP Larry Bagnell and a bunch of people from Yukon government. And one of the conversations was just about, planning to get through, but also planning for recovery mode.
Mm-hmm.
So really trying to think like, okay, how do I get through these next few months, 6 months when shops are closed, but also ramping up, because when things get back to the new normal and life opens and we're allowed to shop and go out and support and feel alive again, what does that mean for my business and how much will it change? So making sure that I have inventory to supply to all of those shops, making sure that I'm ready production wise, mentally, all of that. And so, you're kind of planning for two different things at the same time. So that's what I'm hoping to do. In addition to taking care of myself, planning for that. And what does that look like? But, I am really, really lucky when I listen to stories across Canada and from Yukoners about not having any income. I'm really fortunate that I have other work to be able to get me through this, that my soap business wasn't my main thing. It's really important to me to get soap to, and my business is a huge part of my life, but, it's okay. I personally am okay. So it's really to me about making sure people get what they need and supporting Yukoners overall.
Yeah, I think that some of the I think you're right, and Yukoners are incredibly resourceful, and oftentimes we have multiple revenue streams because
Mm-hmm.
we are very seasonal in nature and how we operate a lot of our businesses, and so it's sort of finding some of those, like that balance between the work that we're doing and finding where our opportunities are in some of those different revenue streams. Not all businesses are in that situation. And so then how can we support and encourage and collaborate with some of those businesses to help them find new revenue streams or opportunities sort of in this, so that we are strong on the other side of this. Yeah. And I think it's good for us to be casting our imaginations and our visions to sort of what the other side of this is going to look like. This isn't our forever place, but it is an opportunity for us to sort of reset, think, and move forward. You're one of our champions in that.
Thank you. Well, I think it'll be interesting to see how much of these partnerships and collaborations and tools that we have found during the pandemic carry on into the new normal, mm-hmm. right? To see how much of these new patterns we're making are new ways of thinking, because really it's getting back to old ways. So it'll be interesting to see how much of these values and stuff carry forward, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So to kind of close out, do you have a song, a book, a podcast, something that you're finding a lot of strength in these days that you'd recommend?
Oh, well, funny. Normally I spend a lot of time on the road. I'm usually listening to business podcasts, but actually I have found the past 2 trips, I didn't want to listen to business podcasts, that I just needed to think. And so listening to music. So who have I been listening to lately? A lot of Leela Gilday, who is from the Northwest Territories. And so, and I saw a live concert of her the other day, and Diet. So those 2 women have just, strength of power, connection to the land, and that kind of thing. And then in terms of the guys, I've been really listening to new to me, Lucas Nelson, Willie Nelson's son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so cool. Check him out.
All right.
And also William Prince, Canadian Indigenous folk musician, and the other one is Xavier Rudd, who's from Australia, folk musician, and his music just really resonates with me. And so definitely my choice of music these days is more chill vibe, not too peppy, whereas normally, I'm blasting country music as I head down the highway, but which might surprise some people. But these days, definitely a lot more chill, folky kind of music is what I need.
Feeds the soul.
Yeah.
Cool. Great. Thanks, Joella. Thanks for your time today.
Okay, thanks, Carrie.
Bye.